Did you know that there's thousands of people who are incarnated gods that don't even realize it? Peace family, Conjure Queen here. In this video, we are going to be talking about the signs that you are an incarnated god, the signs that you have a higher purpose and being than just an average human. So in this video, we're going to talk about why you are divinely chosen. And these are all of the signs. Now listen, family, as somebody who has always felt like an outcast as a black sheep, okay, you probably can resonate with this video. What I notice is that a lot of people tend to err on the side of being the loner, being the misfit or the rebel, right? The black sheep of the family. I noticed that this is a common theme with people who tend to be the healer, the shaman, the god or the goddess in their family. These are the ones who come to break the generational curses. These are the ones who think differently, who question the paradigm of things, who looks around the world and says, you know what? I don't like this system and I want to do something about it. You don't just talk about it, you're about action. And that's what sets you apart from everybody else. And not only that, but if you paid attention, you have certain powers and certain skills and abilities that maybe you forgot about. But in this video, we're going to talk about them, and this video may wake up some sleeping memories and dormant DNA that you totally probably forgot about. Now, sign number one, I noticed that a lot of people who are chosen ones, those who are divinely guided, anointed, those who are incarnated gods and goddesses, they tend to have very difficult childhoods, or something very significant happened in your childhood that made you different or that changed you forever. Sometimes they tend to go through a very traumatic experience, okay? And this is called your initiation. Everybody is different. Some people may go through it in their childhood. Some people are known to mostly go through it in their adolescence when their sexual power is starting to awaken and who they are, their identity starts to crystallize as they're finding their identity and purpose separate from their family, their peers, and the system that they have been brought into. Okay, so what happens is your whole entire childhood or your early upbringing, you may feel like different from your siblings, from your cousins, from your family, from your parents and your caretakers. You can just sense the energy that makes you just stand alone and stand different from them. You can't quite put your finger on it, but it's always been inside of you, this knowing that you come here to do a certain purpose. So you know that you're different from everybody else, which leads to our second point, which is 2. Sign 2 is you come into this world with a mission. You come knowing that you came to do great things. You subconsciously know that you are not meant to work an average job. You're not meant to just be an average person to fit into this average lifestyle, an average relationship, an average family. You came into this world wanting more, wanting to learn more, asking questions, questioning your spiritual practices, questioning your family dynamics, questioning the toxic ways and behaviors that just doesn't seem right to you. And even though you may have had a lot of pushback, right? You were the scapegoat of your family. Maybe everybody targeted you because you were the only one that was speaking up saying, hey, this isn't right. Hey, this is unhealthy. Hey, we should actually heal and work through this. And sometimes it can be so difficult when you are in your power of awakening. You're coming into consciousness. You're realizing that the world is a matrix. You're starting to come online. Your powers are activating. And so now things that you weren't able to see, your mind and your eyes are open. So you're seeing them now. Okay, you're becoming more aware of it now. And it starts to break your heart because you want to pull the people around you in, but you start noticing that people that you grew up with is starting to say you're different now, right? As you grow into your consciousness, as you elevate more into your godlike power, you may have noticed growing up that you got a lot of evil eye, a lot of envy from your peers, from your coworkers. And you know what? It's not even like you're bragging or boasting. It's the energy that you resonate. It's the energy that you exude. You don't even have to try. It's the way that you carry yourself. It's the way that you walk. It's the way that you talk. It's a vibe that you carry that nobody can replicate. They may try to copy you, but they can't do it right. Come on. You've seen people try to emulate your style, emulate your swag, probably even do exactly what you're doing. I have several people who have tried to copy my content, do exactly what I say word for word, and they fail miserably. Why? Because they don't have the secret sauce. I am the sauce. You are the source, right? Nobody can take the juice that you have inside of you because there's only one you. Spirit have given this divine acolyte, this divine mission to you because you are able to handle it. We've heard that saying, God doesn't give us problems we can't handle. Spirit doesn't give us challenges we can't overcome. Right? The fact that you're given all of these obstacles and you had such a hard childhood and you had to grow up fast, it was because you had to go through your spiritual initiation because God knew and Spirit knew that your life was not going to be easy. So you could not have an easy upbringing. You had to be toughened up early. You had to grow thick skin early. You had to understand the human condition early. You had to learn about how humans could be so dark, their psychology could be so twisted. And you had to learn how to maneuver in this twisted reality in order to become your godlike self. Because let's be honest here, Earth is ghetto, okay? If life is like a video game, then Earth is like the super hardest level that you could possibly do. And the fact that you came here says a lot about your spiritual evolution, your spiritual growth, your spiritual evolution. I'm telling you right now, family, when you come to Earth, you already know your mission. You come here like, listen, I know I ain't come here to do this basic stuff. I'm on a mission. There's people who have told me they woke up into consciousness at 5 years old. They woke up into consciousness some as young as 3. Okay, I had my first spiritual experience that I could remember when I was 3 years old. Everybody is different. Everybody started asking questions at a different time. But what matters, what tends to be the main theme is we have this hunger, right? You have this hunger for knowledge. You want to know more. This is going into the third segment where you have this curiosity for life. You want to learn about life and nature. You want to learn different languages. You want to learn about different cultures. You want to learn and understand the system. You want to learn science. You want to learn history. You want to learn not just what they're teaching you in school, but your learning in academic studies doesn't stop just in school. You're still studying and learning about yourself. You're learning about the lies that they've been telling us. You're deprogramming and reprogramming your mind. Okay, you're a scholar of life, consistently learning, because in this particular path as a goddess, as a god, right, you got to understand that you are the generator, operator, and destroyer of your reality. That is what a god is. And once you step into your godlike power and you are activated by doing these rituals, right, and if you're interested in learning how to activate your godlike power and learn about the rituals, I actually talk about this a lot in my community, family. So if you're interested in learning more and joining our community, I'll put the links below. Now, there's certain rituals that you can do to activate your godlike power, because the power is already within you. Sometimes we have to do certain modalities to turn it on. Some people need a little bit of assistance to turn these gifts and powers on, because let's be honest, when you're going through hard times and you're going through tough upbringing, when you have these spiritual gifts and abilities, right? And we're going to go into the next segment. That's another sign that you're chosen, having spiritual gifts and abilities, okay? That's beyond human understanding. When you have these gifts and abilities, you got to understand, family, that there will be powers that will try to stop you from using them. If you come up in a religious family like mine, if you have spiritual gifts and you can see the future, if you're able to see spirits, they're going to tell you you're demonic, you're evil, that's the devil. They might beat it out of you with a belt. So what is that? That is traumatizing. You're going to be like, you know what? I know not to talk none of this spiritual stuff, because if I do, that belt is waiting for me. So you subconsciously shut down your psychic senses and your powers for years, and you not realizing that stifles your growth. That's the reason why you feel like something is missing in your life. That's the reason why you can't find fulfilling relationships, because you haven't even fulfilled the relationship with yourself. You have to get right with you. You have to know who you are. That's why in the ancient mystery schools in Egypt, above the door, you couldn't even go into the school until you knew who you were. Know thyself was above the door. If you didn't know yourself, if you wasn't sure in your purpose, you didn't know you was a god, you was not allowed in, because that's rule number 1. You got to know who you are if you're ready to elevate. Because if you still operating in this identity that they've given to you, then that's not who you really are, right? We have our spiritual name. We have our spiritual purpose. when we come here into this world. And nobody can tell us that but us. You can get a psychic reading, you can get a spiritual reading where somebody can help guide you and tell you the guides that are around you, your ancestors that you come from, the bloodline that you come from. So that way you have a better understanding of who you are, where you come from, because if you don't know where you come from, you can't possibly know where you're going. And this is why we talk a lot about ancestral work, right? Understanding your history, understanding where all of this power comes from. Because if you find out that you come from a powerful line of necromancers, of healers, of channelers, of oracles, of magicians that did amazing magical miracles in this world, that's going to change your reality. That's going to change your concept of yourself, because you're going to say, wow, okay, I was told that I came from just slaves and poor people and nothing. But if I find out that I came from powerful deities and I actually have blood in my system and I come from the Anunnaki, I come from those who came from the heavens, because that's what the Anunnaki mean, those who came from above. Right? When we talk about in the book of Enoch, they talk about the angels and these deities and beings that came from a different world, from the skies, that made it with women. And you can be these descendants of these demigods, these mutants that they talk about in X-Men, these superheroes that they talk about in mythology. They were talking about you. They were talking about you in all of these stories. Revelations was predicting you, the beast, the sleeping gods, the titans, you waking up, stepping into your power, destroying this matrix, and stepping into your true air-like abilities. You stepping into your throne, you stepping into your power, you remembering who you are. That's what this platform is all about. It's about tapping into your godlike powers, activating your memories and your DNA to fulfill your true potential. Everybody has potential, but not everybody fulfills it. And that's where the gap is, when these manifesting law of attraction gurus is out here telling you, just believe it, just meditate, just visualize, woo-sa. No, it doesn't work that way. Yes, you can manifest things with your mind, but rituals is the secret ingredient. Rituals is what binds the physical and the spiritual together. This is the secret science that the ancients knew, and this is the science that they removed from you. That's why they told you magic and rituals was evil. They gave you prayers, they gave you beliefs, they gave you a sky daddy, an invisible man in the sky who grants your wishes, but they told you to stay away from magic, because the magic is where your ancestors knew this is where the power is at. Okay, that's what we talk about. You got to deprogram. Being on this channel, being in my community, like I said about the door, you got to know thyself. You have to come into our community and you have to come into this platform with an open mind, because everything that we have been taught is a lie. I know, I had to go through this. I've been doing this for what, as of now, almost 10 years now on YouTube. I've been talking about this since 2015. I've been saying that times is changing. Tap into your power. People are going to start realizing the power shift, the energy shift. The false leaders are falling now, so that the new leaders, the true heirs, you, the sleeping gods and the sleeping titans, can step into their power and reclaim their throne that is rightfully yours. This is prophecy. This is not a vision. And prophecies have been told and known to come true. These are what the ancient oracles have been talking about. They're afraid of you waking up. You are the beast. Let that sink in, okay? Let that sink in. You have psychic abilities. Here's another sign. You have psychic abilities. You have spiritual gifts. Some of y'all were able to levitate when you were little, right? Some of y'all were able to levitate. Some of y'all were able to read minds, to astral project, to go into other places and come back and retell the story. The first time I astral project, it blew my mind. I was 7 years old. I remember projecting out of the bed and watching my mother and myself and my grandmother sleep. I remember it, okay? I remember, because at that time, like I said, I grew up in poverty, so I didn't have my own room. If you know, you know, okay? Like when a whole family living in one house, y'all all share beds. So yeah, it was me, my mama, and my grandma in the same room sleeping in the bed. So I remember I was in the middle. I was little at the time, and I'm like, I projected out, and I'm watching us sleep. I'm like, wait a minute. If I'm in the bed, how am I here? And I think I got so excited I woke up. But ever since then, I've been trying to do it again. And as I practiced, I got better. I taught myself how to astral project. Crazy. So you actually, if you had the gift before, you still have it inside of you. Whatever potential you have, you still have it. You can still tap into it. You just forgot how. But that's what I'm here for. I'm here to remind you to Wake up your powers and remember who you are. Become your grace version of yourself. Become your true God-like self, the true goddess self. That's what this is all about. Transforming from this human, this identity that you think you are, this avatar. That's all this is a physical avatar. You just need this physical human suit in order to operate within the third dimensional reality, this simulated reality game. Once you realize that that's all this is, and that your true self is outside of this physical body, controlling this, right? You have a control outside of this reality, controlling a sim character that you identify with. And once this sim character's battery or life essence is done, the soul leaves and it goes to the next level, wherever that may be. Now, depending on the work that you do in this lifetime will determine where your soul goes next. Similar to what you did in the last lifetime, a previous lifetime determines how your life will be in this one. Okay, it's levels to this. I also noticed that those who tend to be chosen ones, right? You ever realize that when somebody tries to hurt you or do you wrong, block you or harm you in any way, bad things happen to them? You don't even have to wish it. You don't even have to do rituals. You don't even have to do anything. But spirit will handle them. You'll probably hear about it like, oh, remember that girl that tried to get you fired? Well, I heard that her whole house burnt down. Oh, word? Oh, remember that person that said they was going to hex you and your family and hurt your mom and all this other stuff? Well, we just found out that, their mother died. I'm like, oh, wow, okay. So you'll hear stuff like that. And I know that may sound a little dramatic, but you got to understand, some of y'all walk with deities, spirits, and ancestors that don't play about you. That's what I be telling people, like, yo, some of y'all are so powerful, you don't have to lift a finger. Your ancestors and your spirit guides know who has bad intentions for you. And when spirit removes people out of your life, it's for a reason, because there were conversations that was happening about you that you was not in the room to hear, and your ancestors heard it. And they knew that these people that you thought were your friends, family, peers, coworkers, business partners, or whatever, that they was on your side, spirit knew that they weren't, and they was planning your demise. And so spirit had to destroy them, move you out of that situation. Even though you may feel uncomfortable, you may be like, God, spirit, why you make me lose this job? Why you break up this relationship? Why are you not allowing me and this friend to connect no more? It's not meant to be. You outgrew that. Spirit said, nah, we taking you out of here. Yoink, boop. Put you somewhere else, because that's exactly what spirit does. Spirit can see from an eagle's eye view, bird's eye view, everything that's going on in your life, past, present, future. You may not be able to see it. You can see only directly right in front of you. So when you ask your guides and spirits to come in and help you, they can help you beyond ways you don't even know, family. Like, there's levels to this. So that's another sign. You just have powerful spirits that walk with you. If you come from deities and gods, your ancestors, they on a whole nother level. You have powers and abilities. You can tap into certain powers and gifts that other people cannot. Family, levels to it. But only thing I'm saying is your time is now. Now is the time for you to step into your power. Now is the time for you to activate your godlike DNA and become the true heir to your power. Reclaim your throne. Stop letting people tell you who you are. It's time for you to tell reality who you are. Okay? So those are the signs that you are an incarnated God. There's actually more signs, but I'll most likely do a blog or drop that in my community. So if you guys want to learn more about activating your godlike powers and learning about the signs that you are a God, then join my community. I will put the link below. You can also sign up to my mailing list to always stay up to date with our rituals that's coming up. But thank you so much for watching, family. Make sure that you subscribe and hit that bell so you'll always be notified of new videos. And let me know your thoughts. Are you an incarnated God? What signs have you noticed in your early childhood or in your life, and maybe you still notice it, that you are a God? Drop it below. And share this with a friend. Thank you so much for watching, family. Until next time, Conjure Queen signing out. Peace.